Once upon a time, there was a guy with a dream. A dream to quit his job, support himself online, and have a kick-ass life, working when he wanted and where he wanted across the world. Little did he know that dream would lead him into a world of struggle, burnout, and debt. Until he found the magic ingredient and those struggles became a thing of the past. I, of course, was that person. And now my dream is to make things happen for you. Welcome to Join Up Dots.
When we're young, we have an amazing, positive outlook about how great life is going to be, but somewhere along the line, we forget to dream and end up settling. Join Up Dots features amazing people who refuse to give up and chose to go after their dreams. This is your blueprint for greatness. So here's your host, live from the back of his garden in the UK, David Ralph.
Yes, hello there, good morning to you, and welcome to Join Up Dots. Yeah, this is the inspirational show, it's the motivational show, and today it's just me show. No one else is on here. I'm a little bit late today, getting this podcast out into the air, because last night I did the dad routine. I drove my daughter up into the West End of London to see a boy band called Why Don't We? Or as I like to call them, Who the Hell Are We? And my wife actually went into the concert with her because I sat in a multi-story car park with Netflix watching some documentaries until I had to get home. But God, it was late this morning. It was a Sunday concert. So why couldn't they have done it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? You're indoors. It doesn't matter what time it is. But these boy band, they came on very, very late. So I'm a little bit late because I woke up this morning and I went, oh God, I'm tired. But one night kills me. Anyway, how are we? I hope you are all rocking and rolling and enjoying life. And if you're not enjoying life, why aren't you making it the life you want? Now, in today's motivation, I'm going to call this podcast Motivation. There's a couple of stories that have really inspired me recently. And the very first one is from an old mucker of mine. Yes, Mr. Neil C Hughes from the Tech Talks Daily podcast. Now I'm going to talk to you about Neil. Now he's changed recently. It used to be called the Tech Writing Blogging Podcast or something like that, and now he's rebranded it called the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, and he's also stuck a C Hughes in. Neil C Hughes, like Arthur C Hughes. Do you remember him in the old days? Maybe that's why he's done it. Or Michael J Fox. He suddenly decided to put a C in his name to make himself more sexy. Well, Neil, he started a podcast. Now, if you know anything about podcasts, there's not many that go beyond 100 episodes. Most stop about 25 episodes in. Now, Neil has just hit 1,000. Yeah, he's hit 1,000 podcast episodes. And he did a show, and it was lovely to hear where he sort of referenced his starting point and how he didn't know that he could do it. He had the imposter syndrome on his shoulder, but he plugged in his mighty microphone, started talking, and now he goes around the world spending time with Gary Vaynerchuk and Manchester United and Real Madrid, and he's had Captain Kirk, what's his name? William Shatner. Yeah, he's had William Shatner on his show, and he's had such a roller coaster ride where he's literally, if anybody of an old age knows British TV, we used to have this woman called Judith Chalmers, and she was always whizzing around the world. Now, I suppose it's Michael Palin, and who does a load of travel shows. Louis Theroux, maybe he's the new Louis Theroux. He's always whizzing around the world. Now, why am I telling you about him? It's not just the motivational, inspirational content that he provides on his Tech Talks Daily podcast with Neil C Hughes, but it's the fact that he was in a job that he had been in for years. He was in basically an office in Birmingham, England, and once you're in a position for a long time, you start to have, this is where I am, this is what I do. And of course, what we do isn't what we are. We can reinvent ourselves. And just because you're working in a job, it's not what you have to do. Now, if you speak to anyone and you say to them, what do you do? they don't actually tell you anything motivational. They tell you, oh, I'm a web designer for a local company. No, but you don't design web designs, do you? You create visions for people. You create dreams. You create a portal into a new world for somebody else through online daring do and venture. And Neil, he was in that situation, as I say, where he could have quite easily said, oh, I'm a tech person, but he started working on something on the side, and little by little he has grown this remarkable, yes, I am envious of the Tech Talks Daily podcast, and he's got it going. Now, 1,000 episodes. What was interesting, I listened to his podcast episode the other day, and he was saying 10,000, 20,000. It's not a thing to be proud of. It's a thing that is part of your journey. Yeah. So when you get people saying, oh yeah, I've done 50 episodes, I've done 100 episodes, I've done 500 episodes, that's all good. But you've got to think bigger. You've got to think longer term. You've got to think this is just the start. Yeah. And so a big salute to Neil C Hughes. I can't get used to the C. I've always thought he was a C for years, but no. Neil C Hughes, he is the man. Now, another story I'm going to tell you is about a guy who, on the other side of the fence, had connected with me probably about 2 years ago. I remember him first messaging me through listening to the show Join Up Dots, and he was in a job and he wasn't quite ready to go for what he wanted, but he was starting to think of possibilities. He was starting to think of what was out there. Now, he has gone a different route, and he connected with me about 5 or 6 days ago, and he said, David, I'm now ready. I've done it. I've quit my job and I've launched a business. I won't tell you what the business is because he's getting it off the ground. But basically, he's taken this business idea. He's got a patent for a design that has been put through and agreed. He is now got a CEO of his company. He's got a team around him. And his company now is valued at over $1 million by financial experts and stuff. Now, what is the amazing thing about this? Is this guy has done it all in about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. He basically got his idea and he went for it, and he's gone for it big time. He has gone for it big time, people. So he's gone from an idea to a concept to actually getting it out there within 3 to 4 weeks, and it's worth over $1 million. Now, I was talking to him the other night because he is so het up. He is so wound up that I've actually now, he signed me up to mentor him on a monthly basis to actually make the decisions that can keep him focused on the business, focused on growing the business, but actually focused in on himself first of all. And so our session the other night, I said to him, look, you've got to get away. You've got to get away. You've got to put your phone in the drawer. You've got to disconnect from everybody, and you've got to reclaim your identity. You've lost yourself. And so he said, yep, absolutely right. So he booked a plane ticket to Europe, and he's now flying over to Europe from America, and he's sent messages out to people saying, don't contact him. I'm going to get my head back in the game, and I will come back stronger. I will come back stronger for it. Now, why am I telling you these two stories? Because success and inspiration and whatever you want to call it, but your life can occur in many different ways. We've got Neil, who has done the long game. He has produced podcast episode, blog posts, and he's written and he's grown his contacts and his network, and he's now traveling the world. He has done it over a period of about 3 to 4 years, I would have said. Now, in the great scheme of things, that's nothing. If you think that this is going to be what you want to do for the rest of your life, this is going to be your brand, this is going to be your business, 3 to 4 years is nothing. And if anybody says to me, you know, oh, I can't wait 3 to 4 years, I would kind of think, well, you should have started 3 to 4 years earlier, because it does take twice as long as you expected. And as I always say, twice as much money. But we've got the other guy who basically has gone for it and is doing 18 to 19 hour days and has now got himself in a right old tiz where he knows what the business is going to be. And this business is going to be, I think, world dominating. I get told so many and I think, oh yeah, I've kind of seen that, or I can't quite see the angle. This one I thought, yeah, I can get this. And not only can I get this, I can see that this is going to go into $1 billion industry. He is really tapping into something that I think's out there. Now, behind the scenes, he knows what he wants to do. He knows how he wants his life to be. And even within 3 to 4 weeks, he already is aware enough to realise that he's losing control of that focus of where he wants to be and what he wants to be doing every single day. So he's backtracking. Now, what's the right way? Well, certainly Neil's is the right way, slowly building it. But certainly the other guys is the right way, except once you lose your health and once you lose your focus, you end up, no matter how much work you're doing, making the wrong decisions and shooting yourself basically in the foot and killing that business because you're pushing the business too fast. You're pushing it in directions that it's not ready to go. It needs to grow. It needs to find its footings. It needs to get its roots so that it's ready, growing underneath the ground to bloom at a later stage. Okay. Now, I was worried about him last night, so I said to him, look, I will work with you on a monthly basis because, hey, after my issues over the last few years, I am a master at closing down the doors, not allowing anyone to get to me and giving my brain and my body the energy and the freedom to live the life, but do what you need to do. Do what you need to do to get it out to the world and grow your brand and your business, but also put your mask on first. So I just wanted to tell you these two little stories. One of a guy who's playing the long game and is doing an amazing stuff. And I'd love you to go over to the Tech Talks Daily podcast, have a listen, leave a rating and review as well on iTunes or whatever platform you listen to it, and send him a message. Say, I'm proud of you, Neil. Squeezy hugs coming your way, and I will keep you informed of this other guy and the work that we're doing together, because I want the same for you. Every single one of you is one step away from your own business idea, and it doesn't even have to be the right business at the beginning. It just needs to be dragging you out of the mud, ready to start building something and chipping away until the real dream comes along. Now, the big guy, the $1 million company, he's already saying to me, I don't see this as the end. I see this as just the start. And I've already decided on my legacy. He's seeing it as get one up and then get another one up and then build something else. Just constantly driving those ideas forward. Be the dreamer, be the inspirator, but actually then build a team very, very quickly around that can take it to fruition. Exciting times, I think you agree. And every single one of you can have those same exciting times, but not if you're sitting on your booty, not doing anything, okay? So just do one thing. Just do one thing. Just send a message to somebody saying, this is my commitment. I'm going to be doing this by the end of the month. Send it to me. Send me an email to joinupdots@gmail.com, and then I will keep you committed. Send it through to me. Tell me what you're going to do, and we will keep in touch with each other, and we will drive you forward to the life you want. So big up to Mr. Neil C Hughes, and big up to my mentee, and a big up to everybody else who's doing something, but I'm not aware of it. Do something, make the life you want, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers. See ya. Bye-bye. If you're inspired to live a life on your own terms, working when you want, where you want, whilst you sit back and make the decision of how much you want to earn too, then it's all totally doable, and nowadays easier than ever. Head over to the Starter Business School at joinupdots.com and check out the video testimonials from just a few of the students that are now building their dream businesses after going through our coaching sessions. And if that excites, then book a time to speak to me one-to-one to make sure you have what it takes to become the next success off our conveyor belt. That's Starter Business School at joinupdots.com.